Welcome back.
Welcome. This is number 4.
Week. Oh, now, see, he knows the numbers now. Yep. Good job.
I'm catching on, guys. Yeah.
We were just talking about how crazy it is that, like, when we're trying to figure out a topic to talk about, there's like a list because we've just experienced so much, and we've only been doing this for like a year and a half. It is insane.
Right. And that's because we learned so much within our time of doing this. If you learn and learn and learn and learn and learn, it feels like within a short amount of time, it feels like you've been doing this forever.
Yeah. How long does it feel like we've been doing CollegeHive?
5 years.
Yeah. It's insane.
But that's just the amount of time that it feels like you have been doing your startup is a representation of how much you've learned, not exactly how much time you've had.
Exactly.
Right?
Wow. Insane.
And that's why it feels like 5 years, is because we have been constantly learning.
Yeah, you feel like you have 5 years worth of lessons.
Exactly. 5 years worth of learning.
Yeah. So what are we going to...
And that's great. 5 years worth of learning into 2. That's what's happened.
Yeah.
That's really what's happened.
So what are we going to talk about today?
Right. We're going to talk about our experience with getting into Planet of the Apps.
Planet of the Apps. What is Planet of the Apps, in case the people don't know?
Right. So it's a show done by Apple, and they basically... It's like a Shark Tank, but for apps.
Yeah, and it was only on iTunes.
It was only on iTunes. It was really cool.
It was actually a really good series.
We actually got to meet the contestants and ones that actually got deals and shit.
Right. So let's start from the top.
You go ahead. You're the storyteller.
Okay, so right before CollegeHive launched, Ty was saying that we should apply to this thing called Planet of the Apps. He had seen Gary Vaynerchuk posting it to his social media, saying that Gary was going to be a judge on this Apple exclusive TV show.
And actually, it was even before he started.
Oh, you knew about it before Gary?
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
wow.
I don't know if I knew about it before Gary.
Before Gary
started saying shit about it. Yes.
Okay. So, honestly, for the first 3 times that Ty told me about it, I kind of just brushed it off. You know, I had just been coding for about a year. CollegeHive hadn't even launched yet. Like, in my mind, there was no way that we were going to be accepted onto this new show. And we didn't even know anything about the show. Like, there was no previous season to reference. We just didn't know anything about it. So honestly, I didn't think it was a priority. But then I started reading more about it, and I started finding out who the venture capitalists were going to be, who would be investing into the winning apps, and it was going to be Lightspeed. So Lightspeed is the company that invested in Snapchat and many others. So instantly I was like, okay, we should at least submit the demo, like the 1-minute intro video.
Right.
So one day we just set it up and we recorded it and we submitted it and we forgot about it. Literally, I was not thinking that we were going to get any further. But I would say 3 weeks went by and I got a random call from California, and it was a recruiting hire saying I made it to the next level. And they wanted to ask me some questions. So I was on the phone, this random impromptu call, answering these questions. I hung up the phone afterwards and I just flipped the shit. Like, I was like, I can't even believe that I just got that call. Like, here I am, a new developer. That's what we put into the intro video, was that I'm a new developer. I'm a self-taught developer. Our app is set to launch at some future date soon to come. I just couldn't believe that that warranted that call. So yeah, I told Ty, we were super excited about it, but we agreed actually to not tell anyone else.
Right.
We were like, we're not going to tell our family. We're not going to tell our friends. We're not going to do that. We're not going to tell them unless we actually get in.
Right.
So weeks went by, and lo and behold, another phone call came through. Second round. Okay. Wow. This is another person. I'm answering more questions. And the person actually goes, I think you'd be perfect for this show. Blah, blah, blah. Just selling me on it. So at that point, I'm thinking, wow, this is a true possibility. And I'm starting, my beak is getting wet. I'm thinking about the future. I'm thinking about what this could mean for CollegeHive. I'm thinking about how cool this is going to be. And another couple of weeks went by. By now, me and Ty were actually on a vacation in Portland, Oregon. And I got another call that basically said, okay, we're pushing you through. So we're about to send you the contract. We need you to sign it by this day and then email it back to us. So at this point, we're like, holy shit, we're actually going to be on Planet of the Apps.
Right.
And we're flipping the shit. We're in Portland. We're telling our friends now. We're telling Ty's family in Reno. Like, we're telling everyone at this point, like, oh my God, we're really about to be on this show.
Right.
And that's actually what spearheaded us believing that we really needed to get serious about building a team. So instantly we started reaching out to potential interns and gaining a team of interns. We didn't want to disclose to them yet that we were going to be on Planet of the Apps, so we kept that secret. But we did tell them that, we have reason to believe that we really need to get this team started right now.
Right.
So do you want to say what ended up happening at the end? Like, how did this story end? Did we get on Planet of the Apps? What happened after we signed the contracts?
Right. So we signed.
Wait. I want to say that on our way back to Richmond, Virginia,
from our vacation,
we signed the contracts and everything. We had to fax them back or email them in some way. We're in the airport, and Tyronius
oh shit,
leaves.
That did happen.
He leaves the contract at Starbucks.
Yeah, I
So
did.
that was crazy. That was a crazy experience.
I ran really fast.
You ran really fast to get that.
All the way from my gate all the way to Starbucks. That was
insane.
Interesting.
That was crazy.
And they had it right there. It's like, hey, is this your envelope?
Right, is this your Manila envelope?
Is this your golden ticket that you left?
Right.
Here? Is this it? Yes, that's
actually,
mine.
That's mine.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
So, what happened?
Right. So we signed everything. We sent it off, and we didn't get anything back from them for like 2 to 3 weeks.
Right.
They even told us, all right, this is the time when we're probably going to be filming, when we'll fly you out here.
Right.
So you can, basically just be on set and film your pitch. And we didn't they told us that. That was the last time we talked. And then 2 to 3 weeks went by and we haven't heard anything. And then Felicia calls them and then they tell us we didn't even get in.
Yeah, they say that
even though we sent everything off, they ended up making a different decision.
Yeah, apparently the executive producers changed their mind on us. So, like I said, this was when CollegeHive it had literally just launched by the time that we got that email that said we didn't get in. And I was heartbroken.
Right.
It's crazy how, like, in the beginning of this journey, I wasn't taking it seriously.
Right.
But as the time went on, I got sold on it. I started doing more research on it, and my hopes got up. And especially when they sent us that contract and told us the dates that we'd be coming out there to film, I was sold.
Right.
And we had already celebrated. We had already told all of our family.
Right.
So, yeah, at that point, I was heartbroken that we would get that close only for something that it seems was out of our control. So you mean to tell me that all of these people, right? We went through all of these people. We filmed multiple videos, answered all these questions. Everyone agreed that we should be a part of this up until this last step. And then someone there had enough power to change the trajectory of what could have been the trajectory of our company. It's really insane. And I was heartbroken.
It was interesting too, because around the time that we realized we were getting in to Planet of the Apps is around the time we realized that you lost your job.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting. That was another way that that's another, I guess, circumstance that we took as a sign that this is going to happen.
Yeah,
because
like coincidentally,
they happened relatively at the same time. It's like, okay, this didn't work out, but now this is. It's like, all right, cool. We may get some way.
Yeah, like coincidentally, like within the 3-day window of us getting the call saying that we're going to be on the show, I also got a call saying that my entire retail store was going to be shutting down along with 5 other stores in this area, and that everyone who worked at the store was going to be out of a job.
Right.
So, yeah, we did kind of think that that was a sign that this is going to be our opportunity, and this is the perfect time for us to just focus on CollegeHive. And that's crazy how, and it all depends on how you want to look at the situation, because by me not having that job and by Planet of the Apps being the like inspiration for me to not immediately start looking at a job, luckily I had enough saved so that I could code the second version of CollegeHive for the next 6 months. So I actually worked on CollegeHive full time after that.
Right.
And if Planet of the Apps wasn't like a carrot being dangled in front of me, I might not have had the courage to actually make that decision.
And that's great. And that's where we actually start to see the, I don't want to say practical, but we get to see what happened as a result of not getting in. And what are the good things that happened as a result of not getting in?
Right.
Because, and this actually goes hand in hand with what we were saying before, when you create a goal right now and say, I want to, reach a particular thing in the future, that is really only solidifies you getting started now. And It doesn't actually mean you're going to get wherever it is that you want to go. Because in the middle of, that journey, you may realize and learn, okay, I need to shift this way or I need to shift that way. So the goal and the idea that you have in the future that you're going towards is just a means for now. And that's exactly how us getting into Planet of the Apps and us, getting accepted at every interview was.
Right.
It was just to get us in the direction we were supposed to be going. Though on the surface, it seemed, okay, we're supposed to be going to Planet, to the Planet of the Apps.
Right.
Like, yes, that on the surface, exactly, that's exactly what it looked like. However, it obviously wasn't. And I'm actually thankful that we actually didn't get in, because where we are now, I would way rather be accepted now than then.
Because, like, for us to have been accepted,
we haven't learned enough.
Yeah, for us to have been accepted at that point before our app, like, officially launched, we there's no way that we would have been able to come up with the ideas that we have come up with now under that kind of a pressure. So I think that it totally all worked out. Another reason why I think it was good that just the way that everything happened is because essentially the timeline is that Felicia had spent the past essentially a year learning how to code. Mm-hmm. Then Felicia asked Ty to be a part of this. In my mind, that made this more real and more solid. And so then for you to be newly a part of the company and you're pushing this thing that ended up, being a real possibility, not only did it validate that me asking you to be a part of this was truly something that I needed, because sometimes I don't see those opportunities, or sometimes I'm such a realist that I want to say there's no way we're going to be a part of it. But I need someone who is optimistic and who is adamant and persistent enough to ask maybe more than one time and to push for something like that. So also for them to see something in us before our app even launches, just based on the idea
Right.
and just based on our personalities.
Right.
That also made it real.
Absolutely.
And that made us build our team faster than we probably would have done it.
Absolutely.
So it all became very real from the beginning.
Yes.
So it was awesome that we had that experience. Like, I would not, even though we didn't get on the show, I would never wish that we didn't go through that process, because it essentially accelerated our idea of CollegeHive and our idea of how good of an idea it is. And it just accelerated everything. Like, for us to, our app just launches, and within a month after our launch date, we have 10 interns who believe in us enough to spend their time on this.
Right.
Like,
it was 26 ambassadors.
Yeah, like, it was amazing. And I think that the carrot of Planet of the Apps being an option was a huge part of that.
Right. So to sum it all up, what'd you learn?
Exactly. My lesson that I got from it, aside from everything that I've already said, is with this kind of a thing, and I think, like, in business in general, like, doesn't matter if you're a salesperson at a retail location or if you are the CEO of a company, no matter what, I think that there's a skill to enthusiastically trying things and applying to things and going for things without investing too much of your hope, because anything can happen. You know, when you realize how wide of a spectrum there are for possibilities,
right?
You know, it doesn't make practical sense to put all of your hope or all of your eggs into one basket. So until the sale is closed, assume that it's not closing. Do everything that you can to have a plan B, plan C, plan D, because it's really a numbers game. One of your plans has to work, but you can't go into this optimistically and hopefully and, you know, with that kind of a airy-fairy mindset that this one thing is going to be it for you.
Right.
You never know what's going to happen.
What I think I learned, and we learned together, was it's not about, you know, getting in. It's like going deeper into what you actually want. We're not even attached. Like, we think we obviously have something of value with our startup and with what we're doing. But the point is offering something of value, which is way broader than make CollegeHive of value, or just do CollegeHive and make sure it works. Doing CollegeHive is a reflection of making something of value. The point is creating something of value. We're stuck on creating something of value and not CollegeHive being of value. So in that sense, and understanding that, it would be basically not focusing so strong on getting to Planet of the Apps. And what does that actually mean? And whatever that means is where you're actually drawn to. Actually having something of value is what we collectively, what's important to us. Not necessarily the startup, because the startup could fail. It's all an exploration. All entrepreneurship is an exploration. And so we technically don't know until we do. So it's really going back a deeper level and saying, what actually do you want through your startup? For us, it's to create value. And with that being the main point, we won't have the ups and downs and the roller coasters of our outcomes.
Yeah, because everything is feedback, and feedback feeds pivoting.
Exactly.
And it's all a circle. So for us to be able to get that feedback from Planet of the Apps,
exactly,
which essentially in my mind validated us at such an early point in our company, that was huge feedback for us to get. And we pivoted our company.
Absolutely.
We built our team. We took it more seriously.
Right.
Because we had some professionals in the game saying, you should take this seriously. Saying, you have something of value here. Possibly. And we're willing to take a flyer on you.
Right.
So,
Well,
yeah, it was
nice.
really exciting.
So, well, that was number 4.
That was number 4.
Stay tuned for number 5.
That was number 4. Stay tuned for more. It's time to go.
Yeah, it is.
I'm going to show you at the door.